Yo, what is up, you guys? My name is Version1, and welcome back yet again to Reaction Time, installment 42. We're back and moving right along with the grand month of February, and the lovey-doveyness of the air is around us, and all that good jazz, and stuff like that. But we're going back to Zenith, because I figured why not? They've been uploading quite frequently, because I turn on notifications, so I keep seeing it pop up. And apparently Zenith, the Last City VR MMO, is a Sword Art Online VR game, or similar to it. So I figured, why the hell not? I'm a big Sword Art fan. I love Sword Art Online. I've watched all the seasons, whether they've been dubbed or subbed, doesn't really matter. I've watched them all the way through Alicization, and I don't know if there's going to be, I think there's going to be another season after that, because they opened up for a big, another season after that. So I'm kind of hoping so. So, without further ado, let's move it along and find out about Zenith.
Welcome to VRelity. If you're new to this channel, then hit that subscribe button. And if you don't want to miss any of the latest and greatest news, then hit that subscribe button even harder.
Already did.
With that said, let's get right into it.
Hell yeah.
There is a crazy MMORPG coming to virtual reality that will make it feel like you can dive into a fantasy world beyond your imagination. So let's break it right down for you. Now, MMORPGs, which stands for Massive Multiplayer Online Role-Playing Game, have been around for years, with one of the biggest examples being games like World of Warcraft. But until now, it was not possible to play these kind of games in virtual reality. But that is all about to change, and that is all thanks to...
Technically, VR Chat is a VR MMORPG because you play online with people and you can do random stuff. So technically, it is possible, just not similar? I don't know.
One of the most anticipated games in VR that is called Zenith. Now, Zenith is a VR open world game, which falls under the category of VR MMORPGs. And this means that in this game, you can be and do whatever you want. And it starts off with your character creation, where you can choose and design your own character, and probably try to find a cool username besides all the thousands of different Kiritos out there. But what makes this character creation even more amazing is the class system, because this allows you to choose what kind of character and fighter you are. Think about using different kinds of weapons and magic to what your goal is on the battlefield. And if you want, you could even become a dual sword wielder, just like Keyboy himself. And that's where these kind of games shine the most. Because besides just creating your character, like for any other game, in virtual reality, you also become that character. That means you could group up with people and friends that all look different and have different skill sets for specific situations. And that gets us to the open world. Now, compared to normal linear games, where it goes from point A to point B, Zenith itself is designed for you to explore. Now, there are of course story elements and quests that you could do, but that's completely up to the players themselves. Because instead you can also choose to go and explore the amazing big overworld, searching for things like secret treasure chests that are hidden all across the map, or going into hidden dungeons, defeating bosses, and sneaking up on enemies to get all that loot. And because of this, it really feels like you're becoming part of this virtual world. But compared to other MMORPGs, in virtual reality, it is also so much more intuitive and much easier to interact with other players, because you can use hand gestures or directly talk to them to be able to communicate and truly work together as a team. When I was trying this out myself, I was completely blown away, because I really felt like I was inside a game just like Sword Art Online, where I was talking with my teammates and discussing the best strategy, how we were gonna take down the next boss, but also how we were gonna share the items after the loot drop, and what the best strategy would be if it didn't turn out well. And because it was in virtual reality, this was so much easier. While in normal MMORPGs, it was possible to talk to other players by, for example, sending them a text. You could now do that while being in the middle of a boss fight, asking your teammate to heal you up with a potion, or when you see a weak spot on your enemy, so that your teammate assassin can slash it as quickly as possible. And these tiny moments made me realize how big the potential is for these kind of games. Now, because this is played in VR, this makes the game also much more intense. While I was playing as the Blade Master, who dual wields 2 swords, I was getting a proper workout trying to defeat my enemies. Because instead of your normal press of a button, you have to actually swing swing those swords at high speed. And the combat system is so detailed, where you can block and parry enemy attacks, to
That's
then create
dope.
openings for you and your allies to then counter-attack. Now of course you can also choose a more relaxed role, like a mage or support character, so that you are able to cast spells from long distances, or heal your allies when they are in need. But while you play through the game, you quickly notice that teamwork is essential. While at first it's easy to kill some low-level monsters, the enemies become quickly much stronger at a higher skill level. And because of this, the game almost forces the player to work and strategize together with others to reach their goals. And thanks to that,
Oh,
it
I
makes me really
bet
feel like
myself and a couple other players can still play solo like that. Ends up more of a cool challenge.
teammates. And it really surprised me, gamers like me, instead of some random NPCs or players that you just need to finish your quest, these instead truly become your teammates. And it really surprised me how much more fun this was. Now there are also some amazing mechanics to travel across the map, with some of them depending on which class you are in. This can go from teleporting from one spot to the other to gliding through midair. And it sure feels amazing jumping off a high mountain and flying over these beautiful landscapes, while at the same time
I can
giving
see
me slight
motion sickness
anxiety
hell for
when I
that.
see my stamina bar drop. They even implemented small things like being able to swim underwater, where you can move your hands in a swimming motion to create more speed, or even jump out of it just like a dolphin. But before we get into the details about the crazy beta and other big reveals, a quick word from the company that made this video possible. Now besides exploring this massive world, defeating enemies, and getting as much treasure chests as you can, there's also many other mechanics that make this world feel even more alive. An example of one of the things that I enjoyed most was the crazy cooking system, where you could make different meals to give your character or other characters certain buffs in game. But the best part about it was that you really had to cook them. That means you had to chop up your ingredients and make sure you add your spices. And while flipping your pancakes, making sure that you don't burn them all. And it is these tiny details that make the world feel even more immersive. And I almost felt like Asuna with her amazing cooking skills. But they could take this even further with things like a blacksmith, where you would be able to make your own swords and shields. Or maybe even a clothing shop, where you could stitch together different items that you found across the map. And talking about little Easter eggs, they even have a Kirito-based skin in the game.
Yeah, I noticed that when it first started.
And they even add things like special events that are time sensitive for players to all enjoy together. Now Zenith itself is made by the company called Ramen VR. And with the alpha testing behind and the first beta as well, they recently announced that there is going to be a second beta test for this game. And I can't wait to see what improvements they made. And even though there are still a lot of things that could be improved on, this is just a glimpse and the start of the future for MMORPGs. Because besides Zenith, there are already many other games in the making as well. And there are even big names like RuneScape who are making their own VR MMORPG as well. And I'm sure it won't be long before we also see a Sword Art Online based VR game. But I was completely blown away.
I'm so hoping that if there is going to be a Sword Art VR MMO, it's going to be with a full dive system, because I guarantee one of the biggest problems with this game is motion sickness from flying through the air. I got motion sick playing a couple games where if I wasn't on the ground, able to move around, if I was flying around or something like that, it really messed with my brain. And that's one of the biggest issues and drawbacks of VR games. But hopefully they fixed that out. I haven't played VR in a good while. I'd like to bring VR back, but it's just such a pain to set up.
Zenith were already able to accomplish. Now if you are just as excited as I am about the future of VR MMORPGs, then make sure you show it by completely destroying that subscribe button. And while you're at it, make sure you destroy that like button as well.
And if you like VR and AR news, then check out the videos you see on screen right now. And as always, I will see you next week.
Hell yeah. Isn't this the video I just watched? Oh no, it's here. Okay, that's where it released. But yeah, it's already out, which is fucking dope. But still, I'm hoping that doesn't cause a lot of issues, because that's one of the big drawbacks to a lot of people don't like to play VR because of the motion sickness thing. Like my cousin's girlfriend gets really motion sick when it comes to VR stuff, so she can't play it. I still haven't seen my cousin come by. I don't know. I guess he got busy with other stuff and he hadn't had a chance to come by to play the Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, because I want to play some more of that because it's tons of fun. And I have a feeling there's a lot of good spooks and scares and you guys might get a kick out of it. But, you know, I'd like to be able to record him playing it or something like that as well for the channel, because he's into this kind of stuff and he's a big Marky Moo fan as well as I am. And so it's fun to, you know, bond with family over stuff like video games. But that is going to do it for this episode. If you guys have any other ideas you guys want me to react to, put them in the description down and put them in the comments down below. If I don't get to them this month, I will get to them in months to come, because I will get to them. I try and get to everybody's videos. Sometimes it takes a little longer, sometimes it takes a little shorter. Depends on how many videos I've gotten in the playlist or how many suggestions I've gotten. I usually try and do suggestions first and then stuff that I've found online, stuff like that. So that is all going to be said. So also, if you guys want to, you can always check out the Patreon and stuff like that. There's only one video on there right now, but I am planning on doing some more, and we'll go from there. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Hey, and peace out.